Systemic inequity is when there's an unfairness deeply and broadly baked into a system that makes it more difficult for some people to thrive than others.
Systemic inequities are the deep-rooted histories of our world and the subsequent systems and structures that were put in place to intentionally disadvantage particular social identities like my own.
In your daily life, just accomplishing personal goals, there's systems in place that starts you way at the bottom, whereas others start at the top.
If it's an area where there's an uneven playing field, I'm battling uphill. There's no way for me to win. I have to work extra hard and I have to make extra effort to just become even.
It means that while my life hasn't always been smooth sailing, the fact that I'm an affluent, white, able-bodied cis woman has allowed me to cut corners while others were not able.
It's quite literally a way of functioning both individually and as part of a community that isn't inclusive and only serves a select group of people.
Growing up gay, systemic inequity was ever present. I was worried if I was harmed, would I get equal justice? If I got hit for a hate crime, would the police even think anything of it? Would it be my fault for being gay?
Because I know that if things go bad, it's going to be assumed that it's my fault.
It means that it is a tough problem and one that is very much worth fighting for and attacking those small things on a daily basis and trying to reconstruct a system where everyone experiences the world with the same set of advantages and belonging that I've benefited from my whole life.
We're seeing some very significant disparities in many of the success indicators, like wealth, our criminal justice system.
Look at housing. Look at jobs. Who gets the good jobs? Who are making barely minimum wage jobs or tip jobs?
I can take a short drive from my home in the city to see food deserts, boarded up homes, lack of opportunity, and lack of business only miles or even blocks from affluent white neighborhoods.
What is the disparity in health conditions, infant mortality rates, literacy, access to educational resources, including technology, voting rights? Who has to fight and wait in hours and hours and hours and prove citizenship for voting? And for whom is it very easy?
And overall access. I feel like the list goes on and on.
Our names, right? We're given American names when our parents were immigrants from another country, we're first generation, and we were given names, William Dennis, to just make sure we could survive in this country.
I am married to a Black man, have been for many years. We have 3 children, and I have the same fear that runs through the heart of every mother, just like George Floyd's mother did. It is a fear that is difficult to navigate on a daily basis, to continue to have hope when you keep seeing things happen that are unprovoked. And it hits home whenever I see that my husband is teaching my 9-year-old that he can't raise his voice because as a Black man, you're not allowed to show anger.
You know, when I'm driving down the road and I see a police car, my heart races. Even if I'm driving 10 and 2, not speeding, my heart races anyway because I fear that I will get pulled over.
And the minority myth pretty much is the idea that as an Asian American man, I and my ancestors and whatnot have been able to succeed in the society that America has given us, and therefore all other minorities should be able to succeed. But personally for me, I always felt that the model minority myth, pits us as minorities against each other.
We're all paying a tax in our society, in our workplaces, when some of us can't contribute to our full potential. And I don't want to pay that tax. I don't want the people that I work with, my colleagues, my friends, my loved ones, to be living in a world where some of us can't show up and be our best.
It might sound cliche, but my inspiration comes from those that are closest to me.
I draw my inspiration right now from my daughter. Everything that I do in my life is to ensure that she has a better future.
Eventually, I'm hoping that the work that's being done now will make it so that we address these issues with systemic inequity so that my son doesn't have to be a miracle in order to be successful.
When I hear my 4 and 6-year-old running around the backyard singing Black Lives Matter chants, and I also have my teenager insisting on going downtown to the protest with us, my heart is filled with even more hope that the path we are continuing to pave today will be further cemented by our future generations.
That those in the streets, thousands and thousands of people exercising their democratic right to peaceful assembly, give me hope, that they still feel that there's hope.
I'm so very thankful and humbled by the activists and champions that have come before me. I'm able to be who I am and the privileges afforded to me because of the tireless efforts of the Black and Brown communities through history.
I have some great people in my life, friends and family, but especially some of the older women who come from a different generation, who lived in another country, another era where women did not have the opportunities that we do today.
I draw inspiration from the courage that we show as a community, as a collaborative. That drives me a lot, especially seeing the growth and expansion that the CRGs have been able to create and make an impact here.
I also draw a lot of hope from how Relativity's inclusion, diversity, and belonging initiatives through leadership are playing a very proactive part to educate, challenge norms, beliefs, and subconscious biases internally at Relativity and really help us to overcome systemic inequities.
We are opening up the opportunity to have conversations and to look at these hard issues and open those wounds, as it were, to take a look inside and actually unpack it all and say, what is it that we are doing and where is it that we can improve?
This is not normal for a workplace to allow us to speak about these topics that are extremely controversial and aren't always easy to navigate.
I have a responsibility to maintain my awareness, and more than awareness, to take action, to stay educated, to support the right community leaders, not to shy away from sensitive conversations.
This is where companies like Relativity needs to step in to really partner with under-resourced schools, providing technology and funding to really help out with underprivileged kids to make sure that they're able to catch up with the others and closing the wealth gap.
Yeah, I do love the Fellows program, which I'm honored to play a little part in being a buddy to 3 of the incoming Fellows. We're helping 12 talented individuals from underrepresented communities to begin their career at Relativity, and this way really making a social impact for those folks.
It's about time that individuals from all backgrounds, race and gender have equal opportunities.
And I am dedicated to making sure that you and the next generation of little people that come up in this world, that you don't have to fight as hard as I have fought, that you don't have to cover up who you are and what you aspire for, that you can knock down these systems and that you can just be.
And so I encourage each of you to participate in this, to share what it means to you where you are in your journey, and hopefully together, by focusing on this and through this conversation, we can come a little closer together and help each other more. Thanks.